All right, a quick end of day recap here to close out the week. Essentially, we came into the session looking for NFP to resolve the near term range. Price really failed to resolve the near term range. We did have that bullish lean, that bullish slant coming into the session, which did end up transpiring. However, we did not see the follow through that we were really looking for. Now, what ended up happening here was price initially pulled back post NFP, testing our 45.65 level of interest. If we zoom out here, what you'll see is that continues to be the near-term range volume point of control. So that provided a great area to establish some longs if you were trading pre-market. Following that, we do have this move higher off of regular trading hours open. Nice pullback back into the 45.80 and then into the close here, just closing on the high. So it was a decent 1 ATR move. However, with that big economic data, we were expecting a bit more, maybe a 1.5, maybe a 2 ATR move. And again, price really failed to show that follow through that I was personally looking for. We did resolve higher once again, but not a tremendous breakout play like into the 46.30 or anything like that. So prices continue to push higher. We do have some pretty clean action now on the daily chart. This was a good correction through time. Remember, price can either correct through price, which is a true pullback, or through time, which is just going to be sideways, that consolidation. We are resolving higher now. As far as Monday, we just want to see if any bears are going to show up and attempt to defend today's high. There's not really a clean level here, so I do expect buyers can show some follow through into that 46.35 area, which was the 2-week point of control right through here, those July highs. And then up through there, we'll be looking at a true test of the summer July highs. Now, interestingly enough, looking at SPY is actually resolving higher. This is definitely a much cleaner daily breakout when we look at the daily bars on SPY here. You do have a clean move through the actual July high. So just something to keep in mind. SPY actually looking a bit better here, may have some influence on the ES move as well. Let's take a look at tech. So QQQ, the main watch, like we talked about earlier this week, was just to defend this unfilled gap. That was kind of really what we wanted to see buyers do. QQQ still here within the near-term range. So it's unlikely that the market will show big follow-through. And when I say the market, I mean S&P. It's unlikely that, we'll see the S&P show big follow-through without tech participation, simply because of how tech is weighted within the index, within the S&P SPX index. And so we do want to see QQQ also following suit with that breakout. Now we do have CPI coming on Tuesday, I believe. So that's kind of the next catalyst to look forward to as far as seeing the tech heavy NASDAQ break out of this, what is now could be considered, a 3 to 4 week range. So some things to be watching for next week. As far as ES is concerned, once again, just looking for that continuation play. Overall, it was a pretty solid session. We did have some phenomenal opportunities today, actually, in the first 2 hours of the day. This afternoon drift, not really interested in capturing that. But as far as, what we actually saw here off the open, we did have a nice opening drive trade. I know a bunch of traders were in that. This initial pullback here was phenomenal. That falls within the 2-hour trader framework, as well as this one right through here. So some really good action today. You do have a bit of a pullback here, an attempt to potentially trap some shorts there as price just pulls back into what was the regular trading hours open. We're just retesting some intraday structure there. So make sure you're not shorting into the hole. Like I mentioned yesterday, you never want to be shorting support. That's a very dangerous game to play. Now, as far as individual names, we are going to be looking at pretty much a list that will have a lot of familiarity if you've been paying attention the past couple of weeks. We have AFRM still in the list. Now, again, with these daily and weekly time frame breakouts, these names will likely continue to be a focal point, simply because these developments on the higher time frames they tend to show really strong continuation once you move outside of those big accumulation bases. So you have a year, maybe 2 years in some of these setups of just pure accumulation range trading, right? Then begins the markup or the stage 2 cycle that is very basic Wyckoff. So we'll start to see a lot of these stocks that have been basing for the past couple of years really start to resolve higher. Once again, those are not setups you want to be fading. Like this candle here, it does show exhaustion, but because of the recent trend higher, you really don't want to be fading a stock like this. It's just too strong. You're just going to get run over. So point is, AFRM, we're looking for some continuation on this name Monday as well as next week. We do also have Coin, same type of setup, just coming out of a huge base, riding that fast MA, looking for continuation on this one up through 150. We have DOCU. This is actually going to be a second day watch. So a bit off on the analysis this morning, was looking for strength up through 48 to test 49 and 50. That idea transpired, but look where we opened. We opened way lower than I expected. Nice to see that follow through there. For Monday, we're just looking for a second day trade. So that'll be up through today's high as well as the 200 MA. Pretty straightforward stuff on that one. Now, Snow, have been stocking this one all week, kind of chatting about it. The setup remains the same here. We're dealing with a daily and weekly time frame base. We have tight consolidation near that weekly resistance zone. So we want to see this breakout. Just trading on good volume here. Probability does favor a breakout. I'm not a trader who anticipates a move, so I'll just wait for the actual breakout to occur and then look to trade that one. You should probably do the same. It's much easier to be trading that way. So Snow stays on watch. And then finally we had UPST, another name we've been stocking this week. You can kind of see the old ideas from earlier in the week on some of these charts. But UPST, again, just looking for follow through outside of this daily base. So some nice individual names to work with, all technical setups, no real catalyst on any of those. And then we have ES, the index trade, working its way out of a near term 2 to 3 week range. So continues to be a buyer's tape as expected. Pretty nice action today. Hope everyone had a great day. Hope everyone had a great week. If not, or even if you did, get those trades reviewed this week, good or bad. We always want to be doing that trade review, looking for any repeat errors that may be coming out in your trading behavior. That only comes out through the review process. So you identify the issue, and then you can kind of distill a real framework, a real rule to avoid that behavior. From that, you can, have goals to then follow around that rule, and then that's how you ultimately get better. So the work is actually after hours. It's not in the trading. All right. Hope that helps out. Have a great weekend, everyone. I will see you on Monday.